Imagine Serbia, a country in the middle of Europe, surrounded almost entirely by members of a single massive military alliance, quietly building one of the most unexpected, highly capable, and modern armed forces on the continent. A nation that purchases long-range air defense systems from Beijing, modern multi-role fighter jets from Paris, heavy attack helicopters from Western Europe and Russia, all while designing and building its own world-class heavy artillery in its own factories. Welcome to Serbia. Over the past few years, Belgrade has been quietly executing a multi-billion-dollar military transformation that is turning heads from Washington to Brussels and from Moscow to Beijing. But why is a country of less than 7 million people spending billions of dollars on high-tech weaponry? Is this a bid for regional dominance, or is it the ultimate exercise in sovereign survival? By the way, if you're watching from your phone, make sure you leave hype points to the video. To understand Serbia's rapid military buildup, you have to look at the map and understand its past. Serbia sits right at the historic crossroads between Western Europe and the East. And if you want to understand why Serbia invests so heavily in air defense above almost everything else, there is one date you cannot ignore: 1999. During the NATO bombing campaign of Yugoslavia, Serbian skies were dominated entirely by outside forces for 78 consecutive days. That experience left a permanent mark on Serbian military doctrine and created an institutional obsession with never again being defenseless against air attack. Combined with the ongoing dispute over Kosovo, the southern Serbian province whose 2008 Declaration of Independence Belgrade still does not recognize, Serbia's strategic environment has never been comfortable. These two realities, the memory of 1999 and the Kosovo question, are the twin engines driving every defense purchase and every domestically developed weapon system you are about to see. It is officially committed to military neutrality, meaning it refuses to join NATO or any other military bloc. But as history has taught the Serbian military leadership, being neutral on paper is completely meaningless unless you have the firepower to enforce that neutrality in real life. If you cannot defend your own sky and land, someone else will decide your fate for you. That is why Serbia's defensive doctrine revolves around one main concept: total deterrence. The goal is simple: make any potential aggression so costly, so painful, and so dangerous that no prospective enemy would ever dare to cross the border. And to achieve that, Serbia has embarked on a modernizing spree unlike anything seen in the Balkan region for decades. Serbia's defense budget has grown significantly in recent years, now exceeding $2.4 billion annually, a figure that reflects just how seriously Belgrade takes this transformation. Let us start with the primary pillar of any modern defense strategy: protecting the sky. For decades, Serbia relied on older air defense systems like the Soviet-era S-125 Neva and Pechora surface-to-air missiles, systems that were gradually becoming obsolete. But in recent years, Serbia executed a defense purchase that shocked international observers. Belgrade took delivery of the FK-3 long-range surface-to-air missile system from China, also known internationally as the HQ-22. The FK-3 is an impressive piece of hardware. It can intercept enemy aircraft, cruise missiles, and unmanned aerial vehicles at ranges exceeding 100 kilometers and at altitudes reaching up to 27,000 meters. Think of it as China's answer to systems like the American Patriot or the Russian S-400, a high-tier, long-range air defense solution at a fraction of the political cost. With advanced radar systems capable of tracking multiple targets simultaneously in high-noise electronic environments, the FK-3 gives Serbia a high-altitude protective umbrella over nearly its entire territory. But a missile battery is only as good as the sensors feeding it data. That is why Serbia has also procured a network of 22 Thales Ground Master radars, specifically the GM200 and GM400 models from France. These are among the most capable ground-based surveillance radars available on the open market today, capable of detecting stealth aircraft and low observable targets at long ranges. By pairing French Thales radar coverage with Chinese FK-3 missile firepower, Serbia has fused Eastern and Western technology into a single coherent detection and engagement layer. Now, you might think that having a long-range air defense system is enough to rest easy at night, right? Well, not quite. What happens when low-flying drones or terrain-following cruise missiles try to slip under the radar? To solve this exact problem, Serbia created a multi-layered air defense network. Working right alongside the FK-3 is the Chinese HQ-17AE tactical air defense system, designed specifically to destroy incoming precision-guided weapons, attack helicopters, and low-flying stealth threats. But Serbia did not stop with imported equipment. Serbian defense engineers, primarily at the Military Technical Institute in Belgrade, the VTI, which is the state research institution responsible for developing most of Serbia's indigenous weapons, designed their own short-range hybrid air defense vehicle known as the Pasars-16. This combat vehicle is an absolute beast. It mounts a 40mm Bofors automatic cannon onto an armored truck chassis and pairs it with short-range surface-to-air missiles, including the French Mistral 3 Manpads derived system or indigenous Serbian infrared-guided rockets. The Mistral 3, it is worth noting, was delivered to Serbia directly from France, making it a confirmed Western component inside a domestically built platform. The 40mm cannon fires heavy explosive shells at a rate of 330 rounds per minute, creating a deadly wall of lead and shrapnel against low-flying drones or incoming smart bombs. By combining long-range Chinese missiles, Thales radar networks, tactical mid-range systems, and native hybrid guns, Serbia has created one of the most densely protected airspace zones in the entire region. If you are finding this breakdown of modern military technology fascinating, take a quick moment right now to hit that subscribe button. Joining the channel ensures you never miss our deep dives into global geopolitics and modern defense strategy, and it helps us keep creating high-quality content just for you. Now, an integrated missile shield is fantastic for defense, but what about control of the air? For years, the Serbian Air Force relied on legendary but aging MiG-29 jet fighters inherited from previous generations. Serbia modernized these aircraft to the MiG-29 SM standard, giving them upgraded radar, digital cockpits, and modern air-to-air and air-to-surface missiles. But fighters do not stay young forever. In a historic geopolitical move, Serbia signed a monumental contract worth nearly 3 billion euros with France to purchase 12 brand-new Dassault Rafale multi-role fighter jets. The deal was signed in August 2024 during French President Emmanuel Macron's visit to Belgrade, a moment that symbolized just how far Serbia's Western military relationships have evolved. Notably, neighboring Croatia had already signed its own Rafale contract in 2021, and Serbia's decision to follow suit speaks to the Rafale's dominance in the regional market. This move represents a massive strategic pivot toward Western military technology. The Rafale is a state-of-the-art 4.5 generation warplane equipped with active electronically scanned array radar, electronic warfare systems, and long-range precision weaponry. When these jets arrive, Serbia will possess one of the most technologically advanced fighter squadrons in southeastern Europe. And the aerial transformation does not end with fixed-wing jets. Serbia's helicopter fleet has undergone a complete overhaul. To transport elite special forces units quickly across rugged mountain terrain, Serbia purchased a fleet of Airbus H-145M light utility helicopters, packed with digital avionics and precision weapons pods. But for heavy firepower and transport, Serbia turned to heavy military helicopters, acquiring Russian Mi-35M attack helicopters, often referred to as flying tanks, and heavy transport Mi-17 V5 helicopters. The Mi-35M is armed with a twin-barrel 23mm automatic cannon, unguided rocket pods, and anti-tank guided missiles, capable of flying low over treetops at speeds over 300 kilometers per hour to hunt down enemy armor. Speaking of heavy firepower, we have to talk about artillery, because this is where Serbian domestic defense manufacturing truly shines on the global stage. Have you ever seen a heavy 155mm artillery piece fire 3 rounds, pack itself up, and drive away before the first shell even hits the target? That is not science fiction. That is the daily operational reality of the Serbian Nora B-52 self-propelled howitzer. Designed and produced domestically by Yugo Import SDPR, the Nora B-52 mounts a massive 155mm 52 caliber cannon onto an 8x8 heavy truck chassis. The vehicle features a fully automated loading system, allowing it to fire at a rate of 6 rounds per minute without the crew ever having to step outside the armored cabin. Using specialized base bleed ammunition, the Nora B-52 can hit targets with surgical accuracy at ranges over 40 kilometers, comparable in performance to Western systems like the French Caesar howitzer, but built entirely in Serbia. Even more impressive is its shoot-and-scoot capability. The Nora B-52 can stop, set up, fire a burst of shells, and drive away in under 90 seconds, making it practically immune to enemy counter-battery fire. This system has been so successful that Serbia has exported it to multiple countries around the globe, including Myanmar, Kenya, Bangladesh, and Cyprus, proving that Serbian military engineering can compete directly with the biggest defense contractors in the world. To complement the heavy tube artillery, Serbian engineers at the Military Technical Institute developed modern modular multiple launch rocket systems like the Tamnava and upgraded versions of the Oganj. The Tamnava system can launch heavy 122mm rockets as well as massive 267mm long-range rockets from disposable launch pods. In a high-intensity conflict, a battery of these rocket launchers can saturate an entire enemy staging area tens of kilometers away in a matter of seconds, turning armored columns and supply depots into smoke and dust before the enemy even realizes where the attack came from. If you are enjoying this deep look into how technology shapes modern military power, please drop a like on this video. Your likes tell the algorithm that this content is valuable, allowing more military history and geopolitics enthusiasts to discover our channel. Now let us move from long-range firepower down to the ground forces, where infantry soldiers need heavy armor and mobile firepower to survive on the modern battlefield. In the past, armored personnel carriers were basically thin metal boxes on tracks or wheels, vulnerable to heavy machine guns and improvised explosive devices. Serbia answered this modern threat by engineering the Lazar 3 armored vehicle. The Lazar 3 is a heavy 8x8 multi-role armored combat vehicle designed to carry 12 fully equipped infantry soldiers into high-risk battle zones. Its specialized V-shaped hull deflects mine blasts away from the troop compartment, protecting soldiers inside against anti-tank mines containing up to 8 kilograms of TNT. The vehicle features high-level ballistic protection capable of stopping 12.7mm armor-piercing rounds. Depending on the mission, the Lazar 3 can be fitted with a remotely operated weapon station equipped with a 12.7mm heavy machine gun, or a full 30mm automatic cannon turret that turns it into a formidable infantry fighting vehicle. Alongside the Lazar 3 stands its smaller, punchier sibling, the Miloš 4x4 tactical armored vehicle. Designed for special operations, reconnaissance, and border security, the Miloš is built like a light tank on wheels. It features full-time four-wheel drive, an independent suspension system for extreme off-road terrain, and an engine that propels the 14,000-kilogram armored vehicle to speeds exceeding 110 kilometers per hour. Armed with remotely controlled heavy machine guns or anti-tank guided missile launchers, the Miloš gives Serbian fast reaction forces the mobility and protection needed to respond to any crisis anywhere in the country within hours. Of course, light armored vehicles are essential, but what about heavy ground combat? What happens when two conventional ground forces meet on the field? You still need main battle tanks. Serbia's heavy armored brigades rely on the M84 main battle tank, a Cold War design based on the original Soviet T-72, but heavily modified with domestic technology over the decades. Rather than replacing these tanks at an astronomical cost, Serbia initiated a comprehensive modernization program resulting in the M84AS2 main battle tank. The M84AS2 upgrade transforms the tank into a contemporary war machine. Engineers added second-generation explosive reactive armor tiles to the hull and turret, drastically increasing protection against modern tandem warhead anti-tank missiles. The internal systems received a complete overhaul, incorporating third-generation thermal imaging sights for the gunner and commander, digital battle management software, and an automatic target tracking system that allows the 125mm smoothbore main gun to hit moving targets at long distances, day or night. Furthermore, a remotely operated weapon station was mounted on top of the turret, allowing the commander to engage infantry and light threats without exposing himself to enemy sniper fire. Now, if recent global conflicts have taught us anything, it is that traditional armor and infantry are virtually defenseless without dominance in the field of unmanned aerial vehicles. Drones have completely rewritten the rules of modern land warfare, and Serbia recognized this reality early on. Belgrade pursued a double-track strategy for drone warfare, importing proven foreign strike platforms while simultaneously building a domestic drone industry from scratch. Serbia purchased Chinese CH-92A and larger CH-95 medium-altitude, long-endurance reconnaissance and attack drones. These unmanned aircraft can loiter high above the battlefield for over 10 hours, using advanced electro-optical and thermal sensors to locate target coordinates and strike enemy positions with precision laser-guided FT-8C missiles from ranges of several kilometers away. Using the technology and experience gained from these Chinese platforms, Serbian defense scientists at the Military Technical Institute developed the Pegaz domestic combat drone. The Pegaz is a tactical reconnaissance and strike drone capable of carrying laser-guided munitions to strike enemy vehicles, artillery positions, and command posts. Serbia has also developed the Miloš loitering munition system, a domestically designed kamikaze drone built specifically to strike high-value point targets with minimal collateral footprint. In addition to these platforms, Serbia has invested heavily in small-armed quadcopters designed to drop mortar shells onto enemy trenches or armored rooftops with pinpoint accuracy. By combining long-range reconnaissance drones, the Malika loitering munition, and cheap armed quadcopters, Serbian field commanders gain real-time battlefield situational awareness that was unimaginable just a decade ago. When you step back and look at the bigger picture, Serbia's military modernization strategy is a fascinating case study in modern geopolitical pragmatism. In an era where many countries choose a side and buy weapons exclusively from one military superpower, Serbia has created a truly multi-vector defense capability. In a single integrated military force, you find French Rafale fighter jets and Thales radars, Chinese Fk-3 strategic air defense missiles, Russian Mi-35 attack helicopters, Western European electronics, and domestically manufactured heavy artillery and armored vehicles. This diversity is not an accident. It is a calculated national strategy. By sourcing military hardware from multiple global power centers, Serbia ensures that no single foreign power can ever cripple its entire military simply by cutting off spare parts or imposing military sanctions. At the same time, by investing heavily in its own domestic defense industry through companies like Yugo Import SDPR and the Military Technical Institute, Serbia ensures that a significant portion of its defense budget stays inside the country, creating high-tech engineering jobs and fueling economic growth while guaranteeing self-reliance in critical weapons production. Serbia does not possess the massive defense budget of global superpowers, nor does it seek to fight wars halfway across the planet. Instead, it has carefully tailored its military modernization to its specific geopolitical reality, shaped by the lessons of 1999, the unresolved status of Kosovo, and a neighborhood full of NATO members. It has built a modern, highly mobile, and lethal defensive force designed specifically to deter potential adversaries and guarantee its military neutrality in an increasingly unpredictable world. Whether looking at the heavy automated firepower of the Nora B-52 howitzer, the high-altitude coverage of the Fk-3 missile shield, the Thales radar network watching the skies, or the upcoming arrival of French Rafale fighter jets, one thing is abundantly clear. Serbia's armed forces are no longer a relic of the past, but a modernized, highly capable defense force ready for the challenges of the 21st century. Which of Serbia's new military weapons do you think is the most impressive? And do you think its military strategy of buying from both the East and the West is a smart move for maintaining neutrality? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below. We read every single comment, and we love hearing your perspectives. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends who love military technology and geopolitics. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.